Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, respected examiner, supervisor, and all of participants. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude for the opportunity to present my undergraduate thesis proposal. My name is Kiki Priska from the Economic Education Study Program, Faculty of Economy, Universitas Negeri Jakarta. Today, I will present my thesis proposal entitled The Effect of the Teaching Skill Practice Experience, Mentor Teacher Role, and Motivation to Become a Teacher on the Teacher Readiness, a study of undergraduate education program student at the Faculty of Economy, Universitas Negeri Jakarta. In this presentation, I will explain several main points. First, I will discuss the background of the research, including the phenomenon, research gap, and novelty of the study. Second, I will explain the research focus, research question, objectives, and the theoretical foundation used in the study. Fourth, I will the research method, including the research design, population and sample, instrument development, and data analysis technique. The main objective of this study is explain the factor of the prospective teacher readiness, especially among education students at the Faculty of Economics, Universitas Negeri Jakarta. The main phenomenon in this study is related to prospective teacher readiness. Teacher readiness is an important issue because teachers play a central role in improving the quality of education. At the global level, UNESCO reported that the world needs around 44 million additional teachers by 2030. This means that the issue of the teacher is not only about quantity, but also about the quality and readiness of prospective teacher. In Indonesia, teacher readiness is also an important concern. Based on the PISA 2022, only 57% of Indonesian students felt that the teacher paid attention to their learning, and only 64% felt the teacher provided extra help when needed. Another issue can be seen from classroom learning practice. Although teacher provide learning activity for most of the lesson time, all students are fully engaged in learning tasks for only 48% of the time. This condition shows that prospective teachers need to be prepared carefully during higher education. The readiness cannot be explained only by academic score, but also by practical experience, mentoring support at school, and personal motivation to become a teacher. There are several problems that become the basis of the study. First, teaching skill practice or PKM does not always provide the same experience for every student. Difference in partner school, intensity, student characteristics, school culture, and learning facility may influence student teaching experience. Second, mentor teacher guidance become an important factor during PKM. Students not only need teaching opportunities, but also need guidance, example of teaching practice, feedback, and evaluation from mentor teacher. Third, student motivation to become a teacher may vary. Not all students have the same level of conscious teaching as their future career, especially after experiencing real school situation. Therefore, this study focuses on the teacher readiness as an outcome that may be influenced by practical experience, mentor teacher support, and personal motivation. From previous studies, there are several research gaps. The first gap is the many previous studies discuss PLP, PPL, self-efficacy, interesting in becoming a teacher, professional perception, or academic achievement. However, not many studies successfully combine PKM experience, mentor-teacher role, and motivation to become a teacher in one model. The second gap is the role of mentor teachers is still rarely examined directly as an independent variable that affects teacher readiness. In fact, mentor teachers play an important role in guiding students during teaching practice. The third gap is the motivation to become a teacher is more often studied in relation to interest or career decision, not directly to teacher readiness. Therefore, the novelty of this study is combination of three main factors: become experience as a practice factor, mentor teacher role as an environmental support factor, and motivation to become a teacher as a personal factor. These three variables are tested to explain teacher readiness among education students at the Faculty of Economy, Universitas Negeri Jakarta. The focus of this study is teacher readiness among education students at the Faculty of Economics, Universitas Negeri Jakarta. The two main research question is: do PKM experience, mentor teacher role, and motivation to become a teacher affect teacher readiness? Especially, this study aims to analyze first the effect of PKM experience on the teacher readiness, second the effect of mentor teacher role on the teacher readiness, third, the effect of motivation to become a teacher on the teacher readiness. Fourth, the simultaneous effect of PKM experience, mentor teacher role, and motivation to become a teacher on teacher readiness. Practically, this research is expected to provide evaluation material from the implementation of PKM, strengthen coordination with mentor teachers, and help identify students' motivation as prospective teachers. This study uses four main theories. The first theory is social cognitive career theory. This theory explains that career readiness is not influenced by learning experience, environmental support, and personal factor. In this study, PKM represented learning experience, mentor teacher role represented environmental support, and motivation represented personal factor. The second theory is experiential learning theory. This theory explains that learning occurs through direct experience, reflection, conceptual understanding, and improvement of action. PKM is relevant to this theory because students learn to become a teacher through real teaching practice. The third theory is mentoring theory. This theory explains the role of an experienced person is guiding a less experienced individual. In this study, the mentor teacher helps students through guidance, modeling, feedback, and personal support. The fourth theory is fit choice theory. This theory explains the motivational factors that influence someone to choose teaching as a career, such as intrinsic value, perceptive teaching ability, social value, and social influence. Based on those theory, teacher readiness is formed through three main pathways. The first pathway is practical experience. Through PKM, students learn directly about teachers' duties, such as planning lesson, teaching, interacting with students, evaluation learning, and reflection on their teaching practice. The second pathway is also teachers guide students, provide examples of good teaching practice, give feedback, and help students understand the real school context. The third pathway is personal motivation. Students who have strong motivation to become a teacher tend to prepare themselves for teachers and develop their teaching competence. Therefore, the logic of the research model is that practical experience, environmental support, and personal motivation may contribute to professional teacher readiness. This slide shows the relationship among research variables. There are three independent variables in this study. The first independent variable is PKM experience, symbolized as X1. The second and independent variable is mentor-teacher role, symbolized as X2. And third independent variable is motivation to become a teacher, symbolized as X3. The dependent variable is teacher readiness, symbolized as Y. This tool tests the effect of each independent variable parallelly using the t-test. It will also the test simultaneous effect of all independent variables using the v-test. Based on the theoretical framework and previous research, the study proposed four hypotheses. The first hypothesis is that PKM experience has positive and significant effect of the teacher readiness. The second hypothesis is that mentor-teacher role has a positive and significant effect on teacher readiness. The third hypothesis is that motivation to become a teacher has a positive and significant effect on the teacher readiness. The fourth hypothesis is that PKM experience, mentor-teacher role, and motivation to become a teacher simultaneously have a positive and significant effect on the teacher readiness. This hypothesis will be tested using quantitative data analysis. Data will be measured numerical from and analyzed statistically. The method used a survey method. The data will be collected through a closed and questionnaire distributed to respondents using Google Form. This study also used an explanatory research design because it aims to explain the effect of independent variables on the dependent variable. The questionnaire has a 5-point Likert scale consisting of strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, and strongly disagree. The data will be analyzed using SPSS to test the relationship among PKM experience, mentor-teacher role, motivation to become a teacher, and the teacher readiness. The population of the study consists of undergraduate education program students at the Faculty of Economy, Universitas Negeri Jakarta, class of 2022. The population is 344 students. This consists of 196 students for economic education, 87 students for business education, and 88 students from office administration education. The sample size is determined using Slovene formula with a 5% margin of error. Based on the calculation, the sample is 185 respondents. The sampling technique used in the study is proportional random sampling. The technique is used because each study program has a different number of students. Therefore, the sample is distributed proportionally to represent each study program. Based on the calculation, the sample consists of 91 students from economic education, 47 students from business education, and 47 students from office administration education. The research instrument is developed based on the indicator of each variable. From the dependent variable, teacher readiness is indicator are pedagogical competence, personality competence, professional competence, and social competence. This variable consists of 16 statement items. For the first independent variable, PKM experience, the indicator are lesson planning, teaching implementation, interacting with students and the school environment, and evaluation and reflection. This variable consists 12 statement items. For the second independent variable, mentor, the indicator are guidance, assistance, feedback, and evaluation, and professional and emotional support. This variable consists of 12 statement items. For the third independent variable, motivation to become a teacher, the indicator are intrinsic value, perceived teaching ability, social value, and environmental of career consideration. This variable consists 12 statement items. However, the instrument consists of 52 statement items, including positive and negative statement. Negative item will be received first, scored during data processing. The research instrument will be test through validity and reliability tests. The validity test is used to determine whether each statement item is able to measure the intent variable. In this study, the validity test uses product moment correlation, and item is considered valid if the calculated R value is greater than the R table value at the 5% significant level. The reliability test is used to determine the consistency of the instrument. This study uses Cronbach alpha. The instrument is considered reliability in the Cronbach alpha value is the greater than 1.60. The process is as follows. First, the question is approved. Second, the question is tested on trial respondent. Third, the validity and reliability value are calculated. Fourth, invalid items are dropped and valid items are used in the final research instrument. The data analysis technique consists of four stages. The first stage is descriptive testing. This analysis is used to describe the minimum value, maximum value, mean, and standard deviation of each variable. The second stage is classic assumption testing, which include in normality tests. These tests are conducted before design analysis to make sure that the region model meets testing assumption. The third stage is multiple linear regression analysis. The analysis is used because the study has three independent variables and one dependent variable. The fourth stage is hypothesis testing, which include the t-test, v-test, and confidence of determinant. The t-test is used to test partial effect. The v-test is used to test simultaneous effect, and the coefficient of determinant is used to see how much the independent variable contribute to teacher readiness. Study is expected to provide both theoretical and practical contribution. Theoretically, the study ingests the literature on teacher readiness by integrating practical experience, environmental support, and career motivation in one research model. Practically, the study can provide evaluation input from Fakulty Ekonomi, Universitas Negeri Jakarta, especially in improving the quality of PKM implementation, strengthening coordination with partner school, and improving mentor-teacher guidance. For the student, the study may encourage prospective teacher understand the importance of PKM experience, mentoring support, and motivation in developing professional readiness. That is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. I am ready to receive feedback, suggestion, and guidance, examiner and supervisor. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.